All right, hey everybody, this is Dave, Independent Outsider, once again, and I am tired of not saying my mail plant, so I'm just going to say it now. I work at the Bethpage P&DC in Bethpage, New York, uh, and today the employees found out that there was someone who was found out that have had COVID-19, and like another mail plant on Long Island, management is claiming that this person, who we eventually figured out who it was, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on that because they do have a right to their privacy via HIPAA, but that they only came in contact with one person who has been quarantined as well. I know for a fact that the person in question, there's no way that they came in contact with only one person. Also, via a floor talk today, we were told that the CDC considers us to be a low level, level one building. So even though we are essentially employees and we are so needed to process the mail, which I believe, uh, building is not going to be completely cleaned. Uh, we are not being treated as though we are essential, in my humble opinion, uh, and things go on, and people want to. That people are scared. People are afraid for their family members and for themselves, and they want to take time off. And originally, they were told that there was going to be a liberal leave policy, and then they were told, no, 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 everything's nothing's going to be approved because you're so needed. If we're so needed, our health should be considered paramount. And the big thing is to get sinks, wash sinks, where everybody's supposed to use the wash sinks, uh, dispensers of Purell, and that kind of thing. And what they don't mention, and I will mention it right now, is that we have contaminated groundwater from the Bethpage, the Grumman Navy plant, where we're basically working. So someone actually brought it up. They want us to wash our hands in contaminated groundwater with soap. So if the if we don't if the COVID doesn't get us, the trichloroethylene or the TCE, the degreaser that was dumped into the Navy site, will get us. And they have a point. They do have a point. However, I want to share this with you because this is not isolated to one mail plant. This is a story published in ProPublica. This was about a week ago, and this story was written by Miriam Jamil, who I might actually contact because I think she may be interested in what some of us have to say. And this is in regards to letter carriers, and I'm going to read some, if not all of this. Letter carriers say the Postal Service pressured them to deliver mail despite coronavirus symptoms and often without hand sanitizer. Now, by the way, what I have heard is that soap is actually better because it breaks down the virus. So, but here we go. Experts say coronavirus could be transferred through mail delivery by sick employees. Postal workers say the Postal Service isn't doing much to keep them or their customers safe. So, postal carriers say they are being pressed or pressured into service against medical advice and with insufficient protection against the novel coronavirus. Two mail carriers told ProPublica they have been pressured to stay on their routes despite showing symptoms of COVID-19. One of the workers in Denver says he had to keep delivering mail for days while he awaited a doctor's note. He says the route includes many locations where there are elderly and immunocompromised residents. So their immunity is compromised. So these are older residents. In the other case, a letter carrier in the Northwest says he is still delivering mail even after a nurse told him he likely has coronavirus. 10 letter carriers also told ProPublica that they've been given little or no hand sanitizer, even though they have little opportunity to wash their hands on routes. Oh, okay. I see what they mean. They want like wipes or okay. Although that they should be. There we go. Some postal workers told us they've been provided gloves. Others said they hadn't. And by the way, that's a violation of contract. It is. These workers spoke on condition of anonymity. Experts say if the Postal Service isn't protecting its workers, it's not only putting them at risk, it's also endangering residents or other mail recipients, which is absolutely true. Some mail delivery routes, have anywhere from between 400 and 500 stops on it. Could theoretically even be more, depending. Could be collection boxes, that kind of thing. When you look at the mathematics of one postal worker handling hundreds of people's mail on a daily continuous basis, the sheer probability increases dramatically, says Jack Caravanos, clinical professor of environmental public health science at New York University. Well, honestly, that's just common sense. You're contaminating the envelope and presenting a situation where transmission is very likely. Caravanos said the Postal Service should be doing daily temperature checks for workers. Not really doctors, but okay. And giving carriers enough sanitizer to clean their hands between each delivery, or at least every hour. Again, if you use too much, you could actually do more harm than good, honestly. But I get the point. Workers should also be instructed to stay home if they're sick, he said, without fear of wage loss or retaliation. The likelihood that the virus spreads can vary depending on multiple factors. For example, whether a worker hands mail directly to a person or puts it in a mailbox. But experts say it's critical to take precautions. Just assume that your mail has been delivered by someone who has been infected and plan accordingly, said Peter Holtz, professor and dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine. The experts recommended common sense protections. Wash your hands or use sanitizer immediately after touching letters, and avoid touching your face or anything else until then. So in other words, these experts are basically warning you about your mail because the United States Postal Service is not taking proper precautions and making sure that people are healthy or are not, at risk of having COVID. This is the implication here. A new study found the virus can survive 24 hours on cardboard. It's not clear how long it can survive on paper. I don't know, but why take the chance? I've heard so much about how much, the virus can last on this surface or that surface. I don't know, but why take the chance? In a statement to ProPublica, USPS spokesman David Partenheimer said, "The safety and well-being of our United States Postal Service employees is our highest priority." Sorry. Noting experts' conclusion that there's little risk of the coronavirus spreading through the shipping of packages, Partenheimer said, "We believe our customers should feel safe in receiving their mail as usual." Postal Service has said it has adopted a liberal sick leave policy in light of the virus. In a video message this month, Postmaster General Megan Brennan encouraged workers to simply stay home if they feel unwell. But postal workers said the USPS has long pushed employees to avoid taking sick days, and managers are still sticking to that. And I'm sure that they're doing that, and even more so now because more people don't feel safe and they don't want to come to work and all that kind of thing. So there is how much more of this? Yeah, I can do the whole thing. Carrier in Denver, who continued going to work last week despite symptoms, said he and his colleagues were told they needed to have a doctor's note to miss work. He said he came to work until he could get one, which is absolutely, in this particular case, is absolutely absurd, because this is a national virus crisis. And I'm hearing this more and more, that people are not being able to get tests or test results back for days. So you're going to put the public at risk and keep this guy on the street because he doesn't have a doctor's note, even though he tells you he feels as though he may have this, just to keep people honest or make sure they're not playing the game. Come on. Let's see. On Tuesday, USPS employees created a petition asking their employer to do more to protect employees and the public. They got more than 6,000 signatures in one day. I saw it. I'm not signing it because I don't think it's going to do absolutely anything whatsoever. I think we have to take more action than that. 2 USPS employees in White Plains, New York, reportedly tested positive. They did test positive for coronavirus. I believe it was in March. I may have been actually earlier than that, in February. And we actually, no. It was in March. It was early March. They work at a mail processing center and have limited contact with the public. I'll address that in a minute. The plant closed for 24 hours for cleaning and installed hand sanitizer dispensers in the building. And that's true. In its statement to ProPublica, USPS said that because of federal laws protecting employee privacy, they cannot tell local communities when a postal worker becomes sick. They're going to find out anyway, and I mean, they can't tell anyone due to HIPAA laws who it is. They can't do that. And the press, obviously the press can find out because they found out about White Plains. ProPublica also asked FedEx and United Parcel Service what they are doing to protect employees and the public from exposure to coronavirus, and whether they are providing delivery workers with hand sanitizers. Hand sanitizer has been made available at our facilities, wrote a UPS spokesman, Matthew O'Connor. Someone exhibited symptoms are asked to seek medical care and not to come to work, which is a proper way to do it. FedEx also is telling its employees to take signs of illness seriously. It did not say whether the company is providing hand sanitizer. So that was the article. Please take a look at it. Please support these guys, because I've seen a couple of these articles and they look pretty on point. So just because you work in a mail plant and you do not come in contact with the public doesn't mean that it's not going to affect the public. I said a couple of days ago that someone in the Mid-Island plant working in the truck yard was found to have it. Now, I'm getting reports in my building that a lot of the drivers are coming in to our facility not looking well, not feeling well, and coughing. And I have been told by employees that they have come to management concerned about this, and they told those employees, management told those employees, just stay away from them. Truck drivers are driving around delivering mail or delivering whatever, going from mail plant to facilities, and probably stopping, probably going to the bathroom, probably getting a soda or whatever. And guess what? They're in contact with the public. Okay, if the truck drivers are not feeling well, even though those two employees at White Plains, they were isolated in the building, they drive to and from work. They go get gas. They come on, seriously. The Postal Service, in many ways, they just seem separated from reality at some point, or sometimes it sounds as though they are taking a government stance. I don't even know. There's some supervisors came to me and said, what? As I said, I believe I said this, and I want to make sure that people know, that people told us. I was in a floor talk, not happy about it. I was in a floor talk and told several things, that we are essential employees and we are expected to come to work. So, especially with the people who are kind of on a probation kind of a thing, they're called mail handler assistants, or PSEs, which is, I don't even know what that stands for, but that's the clerk equivalent. So they are basically non-careers. They're going to be pressured to come in no matter what. No matter if they feel well, don't feel well, they're afraid for their families. They're, by the way, some people's, in New York, I'm on Long Island, and some people take Long Island Railroad, and the Long Island Railroad is being, some trips are being suspended, and some people can't get to our facility now. So they told, no matter what, you get there. Originally, they were like, we understand there's going to be a liberal leave policy in case a family member gets sick, or you're afraid for your family member, or something happens, or you don't feel well. Nope, come to work is basically what they're being told. And after we were told that basically someone was diagnosed and the building wasn't going to be cleaned, other than possibly the direct area. Are you kidding me? The reason that our building is not being cleaned, that we were given, is that the Center for Disease Control considers our mail facility a level 1 priority, which means a low level priority. So throw that essential employee crap out the window. You're essential, you have to come to work, but you're in a low level building, so we're not going to clean the building. I believe that this is a national thing, so just be careful. I have taken pride for the past 20 some years doing what I do. So I felt obligated to do this and to let people know, be careful, because Postal Service may not be careful for you. So that's all I got. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Thanks for listening.